Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to set up our tire balancing machine and our tire changing machine. So I must say, having the right tools to get the job done is awesome. And if you do this more than a couple of times, they will pay for themselves. Not only because you can do it yourself, you get the rewarding aspect of accomplishing something, learning a new skill, even if you don't know how to already do it. But then you have the tools to help your friends. You have the tools to perhaps make money. You never know. So time to change this original 2015 tire. And if you look down here, you'll see that it's not quite symmetrical. You got it here and then it goes straight off here. So when you're driving, you can actually feel it change. So she's a well worn out. So we're gonna use the front suspension lift. So at the time of doing this, I did not know how to set up the front suspension for the bike. Hint, you want the rear suspension support installed first, and then you'll hit the front suspension, therefore jacking up the entire bike and stabilizing it. I didn't know this. Here's my second or third attempt, and I get it back up, and I'm looking at the bike, and I'm like, this does not feel right. It's off to the side there. You can see it leaning to a little bit to the left. It's not good. So I'm thinking, I'll grab the triple tree stand and see what's up. So some assembly is required. We have to attach the adapter for the triple tree to the front suspension lift for the motorcycle. In doing so, you bind part of the triple tree in place with the appropriate plug. I didn't know that you needed to have the exact appropriate plug to fit in there. So you'll see as it's coming up that I'm attempting to get it to work. And the whole binding aspect of it, as I'll demonstrate a little bit later, makes it work. And in this case, since it's not the right size, I'm going to try to force it anyways.
Muscles.
And we will see how well that does work. Okay, so it binds it into place, and then you can insert everything. It's foreign to me, that's all. So how this works is this gets inserted into here, and it's supposed to bind. As you can see, there's a whole pile of play. So that's why I can't actually lift it. So it binds into here, and at that point it's able to lift, but you can't have that play. So it won't work. So out of all the ones that I have here, none of them are any bigger than this, and I chose the biggest one right away. And apparently it's like a hot dog down a hallway. This is attempt number 5. There might have been more. And we ain't doing this. It is not good. We brought the bike inside because we have the rear stand, as you can see right there, locks in the tire. And we have the front stand, and plus a strap to keep it kind of organized. That way she won't just randomly fall over. Alrighty, definitely the best option yet. So we've got like 3 points, well, more than 3 points of stability. So now we can take off the front wheel. Good way to tell if your rotor's warped or dragging. Right there. So it's nice, and then right there. Yeah, it shouldn't do that. In this video, or this view, you can see what I was talking about with the tires. That's Quinn over here. She's wants to be a part of the action. So you feel that when you're riding. So it'll be a nice change with a smooth tire. So our motorcycle tire is not balanced, the heaviest portion being the bottom here where the valve is. So I bring it up to here, And over time, your tire will become unbalanced. So you can see how it's moving. It's just trying to find the heaviest point. Obviously, gravity's going to bring it on down. And it will find its heaviest point and show you, which again will be where the valve stem is, where they have all the weights right there. So it'll go up a little bit, and then it'll start to slow down, and then it'll come back down. So it turns out that this is too big for that, which is not a big problem. I'll probably manufacture my own of that size to, you know, fit inside there. I can do that at work, which is again not an issue. So for this demonstration, it's going to be impossible. Quinn is so cute, just wants to be in there. So what I did with this tire removal device is I used it for what its purpose was, to pop the bead, and after that I will be removing it manually. So what I noticed here with the rim, it's all nice and smooth. The other side is nice and smooth. Quinn's being a butthead. And right there you see a little bump. The other side doesn't have it though. So it's only this side, which is right there. Crazy. Are you helping? Are you playing with the sock? Are you the comedic relief? Hey, you're not supposed to put holes in my socks. That's my job.
Just like you're taping me, I'm chewing it.
Yeah. Well, you're done. You're done.
You're gonna put a good sock throw in there?
Yeah, I gotta toss it up in the air. Give it some air time. Come on, throw it up in the air. Throw it up in the air. Not me. Hey, hey. Go
Get
play.
the sock.
Yeah, get the sock. There you go. That was a nice one. You've been cute enough. I'm gonna go back to work. One of the first things I do is remove the valve stem when I'm taking off the tire. So now that we're going to be putting on the tire, I'll be reinstalling said valve stem. You can wait till the end too. It doesn't really matter. But one of the things that you should be doing is heating up the tire to make it easier to have it reinstalled. So you want to put a heat gun, move it around, and get it situated so that this tire is nice and warm. There are 3 really important things to do. 1, bead grease on the rim, on the tire. That way it just slips right over the top. Next thing is orientation. There's a rotation arrow. You want that to be either pointing outwards from the bike or downwards toward the ground. If it happens to be pointing the opposite of that, like back towards you, you got your tread on wrong. And next thing you need to do is there's a yellow circle. You want that lined up with the valve stem, because that's where the manufacturer marks the lightest portion of the tire. And generally speaking, where the valve stem is, that's usually the heaviest portion of the tire. Once you get those 2 things lined up, it'll be much easier when you go to balance it, and less weight means more fast. And we all want to go more fast. This will take a bit of finesse work, but if you're strong and you got enough weight, you'll be able to push it in and pop it on. And next, you get your spoons and you pull the tire lip over the rim. And here's where I'm pointing out where you need to mark it. So you want the valve stem to be in line with the yellow mark of the tire. And that comes from the manufacturer themselves. At this stage, you go and grab your rim protectors with your spoons, and you literally pull the bead over and past the aluminum rim itself. For my eagle-eyed viewers, we had 6 rim protectors. We ended up only having 5 at the end. Yep. Don't worry, we retrieve it later. And at which point, you add the air into the tire to pop the bead into place.
Ow. I wasn't expecting that to be quite so loud.
Okay,
Quinn,
back
back
off.
off. Quinn, come.
Now that the motorcycle tire is installed on the rim, it is set into place equally, and then we balance the tire mounting apparatus, at which point we add the weights necessary to make the rim spin equally. Checking the tire, we found that it's pretty well balanced wherever you leave it. It moves a little bit, but it stays pretty much where it needs to. That's just based off of the marking on the tire to the valve stem. It doesn't really move all that much. So we're gonna leave it as is, and worst case scenario, we just have, I know, Quinn. I know. Worst case scenario, we just have to rebalance, take it off and rebalance it. But from what it was before to what it is now, way, way better. Here is yet another view of the tire treads difference. Pretty cool, pretty worn. As such, we are now installing the tire back onto the motorcycle. We took off the front caliper, pushed the piston back into the caliper so we have space when we put it back onto the rotor itself as we install the rim, and get all our spacers and lubricate the axles and such. Get it all into place, only to take the bike out and start removing the rear wheel. We'll start by loosening the shaft and then the adjusters, then followed by the spring by taking off the master link. This will allow us to remove the tire, at which point where we can bring it inside and just take a look at it, see how well it's balanced and been kept up over the years. Now it's time to warm up the tire as we remove the old one. So in my infinite wisdom, I thought the rear tire was going to be easier. Popping the bead, not a problem. Popping the first bead off the rim, not a problem. Getting the last bead, therefore removing the tire from the rim, that was a problem. So I had to get out my snips and cut the tire off. So that is not how you remove your tire. But in case you guys are interested, that's what the inside looks like. You got metal here, and you've got reinforcements, like I guess it's Kevlar, it all depends on the tire. And you got metal here, it goes all the way around. So if you ever break your bead, that's what you've broken. Highly unlikely, but I've done it on a dirt bike before. And it'll puncture your tube tire once you break the bead. Not all at once, but the metal will get through the rubber and get into your tube, and then you're gonna have a bad day. Very squishy, squishy tire. Anyways, don't do this. Don't do this. It took a long time. I don't like it. I don't want to do it again. You can't make me. Now to install the new tire onto the rim. We remove the weights of the old, cleaned the rim itself, and started lubricating the rim and tire this time around. For however the original rear tire came off and how difficult it was, installing the new tire went it was just the same. In this chance though, we used the center bead locks, which made the tire pop right on.
Fast that went on.
Yeah, I was very excited how fast that went on. It was like seconds compared to the other tire. Maybe I have an idea of what I'm doing. Looks like we have 5 of the tire rim protectors. There are none in this, but I last had 6 plus 1 when I was doing the front tire, and I think there's 1 still in it. So go me. Time to add the air and reinstall the rear tire. Now to reinstall the rubber crush blocks for dampening of the stopping and starting of the rear tire. Then balance it as same as per normal. So we just balance the tire. The valve stem is at the mark, and then we put the weights on, as you can see right there, and on this side. And when we let go, this is where I marked it out. So no real big movements. You can see a little bit of adjustment. This one is where it's going to move a little bit, probably another 3 more inches, and then it'll stop. So it's not perfectly balanced, but not bad for a newbie. Direct comparison to tread. This is the old one compared to the new. Now to reinstall the rear tire. So the first thing we do, install the chain adjusters. Next thing we do, spacers, the axle goes in, then the chain, and then we install the rear brake. Alrighty, so we discovered something new. It is best to have your back stand in place when you do the front stand. Because remember before I had to have this, I had to hold on to this and do everything. I'm gonna be gentle because I don't entirely trust it. But look at that, that makes it so easy. And then you just kind of line it up, get it all into place, which I had to fight with before. Make sure she's all good, and then literally you just gotta push up, and that's it. So much easier to have the back stand in before the front stand. And we were fighting with the front stand all day yesterday. Even the triple tree one that doesn't work. So that's amazing. Learning stuff. Oh, bloody hell. Now time to retrieve my rim protector that is currently inside the front tire. You'll see proof of that momentarily once I pop the bead off the tire. Yep, I made a big mistake, but it's alright. I know how to fix it. I want to report I screwed up. There's number 6. It's in pristine condition compared to the other ones. Like, these ones are pretty well chewed. That's chewed. That one's okay. But yeah, we found it. We have 6 now. Count them. We got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Even though I wasn't able to use my fancy new tire changing apparatus, manually changing tires isn't all that bad. It's always good to have backup skills once you have the appropriate tools. It's okay. Oh, jeez. Talk about deja vu. You already seen me do this. Now you're seeing me put it back on. Circle of life. So thanks for watching, guys. We've made it this far in the video. Got the new front wheel. A little bit of drama when I left a tool inside of it. Although I did help it balance it, which was hilarious because I didn't need to add any weights, but all of a sudden, where was my tool? So I did have to balance it after all. Not bad. Gonna check all the fluids, check all the pressure and whatnot for the tires, and go for a test ride. The rear tire was actually a lot harder than the front tire. All that being said, if you made it this far in the video, as I was saying, please like, share, and subscribe. Any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.